Hey everybody, welcome back. Psychedelic here. The time has come, ladies and gentlemen, and Cosmic Brian. The top 10 vinyl finds of 2021. It's been a very strange year. I'd say 2020 was a little better as far as like breaking barriers, picking up stuff like Creation of Sunlight, The Medium, stuff that I just keep breaking those records to the point where I'm just like paying over $500, but thankfully it's not all out of pocket. I mean, it's thankfully to stuff I've been selling on Discogs. But this year it's just been very strange. $15, $20 records, you're finding for like $85 anymore. Just like a couple weeks ago, Fever Tree debut was asking $85. On what planet is that even legal? We should not be seeing those prices, people. I mean, I know next month's rent's coming up, but that shouldn't be happening. We still have to have a little hobby here. It's not all about the money aspect. I mean, you're certainly feeling the inflation going around. But that's why it's been kind of dry for me anyways. Just haven't been finding a whole lot. People are kind of keeping their cool records. And especially people into psych. I'm kind of into psych, if you haven't picked that up already. I'm just a little bit. But still came out with some great records nonetheless, and we are here to share them. So strap in and let's head on to the next frontier. Stumbled upon this copy here on Discogs. This is like an early one I picked up this year. Cover's seen some better days, but this is one of those records I just never imagined. Could say that about any of these. Imagined taking a chance on. This is Aardvark, self-titled debut. Well, it's their only album. From 1970, I think it was recorded in 69. Basically if you're into that really trippy, progressive, heavy psych kind of stuff without any lead guitar, this would be for you. It's kind of deep purple, maybe just pre-ELP styled progressive rock, but certainly a lot of trippy aspects and just great musicianship. It came out from the UK. It's on the Dram Nova label. I think there's a few variations of this copy. This is the UK press. Pretty nice shape. Nice sheen there. And this is probably the number one spot. I forgot to mention. I'm going to start with like number 1 to all the way to number 10, even though these are all great records. This was kind of my number 1 find. For me personally, this is one that I really just couldn't believe I had possession of. And this was a copy I found in the US. Kind of Floyd inspired in spots, I could say as well. If you guys love like stuff even like Canterbury, this is kind of in that realm as well, and just love that cover art too. That would be something I'd probably want on a t-shirt sometime down the road. This comes at the number 2 spot, obviously. This is one where I kind of broke another barrier just picking this one up. This was a little more pricey than Creation of Sunlight from last year, but makes sense. This is one that never imagined picking this one up. Finding it in the US alone under $1,000. Plastic Cloud, self-titled. Just a garage psych monster from Canada. Even made an unboxing video about it because it was so special to me. You can't go wrong here. I mean, some people kind of say it's a little overrated. Screw them. Not really, but it's actually, I think it's very good. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like maybe the top Canadian psych grail. It's up there, but for me, I just love this album so much. Plays pretty well. Like I said, there was a few rotational clicks on like my least favorite track, but otherwise plays very nice for its age. I mean, just to find it in this condition alone is a miracle. So Plastic Cloud, baby. And then as far as like other countries go, so that was really my main goal this year, was just try to get stuff that was outside the US and just get a little more imaginative, kind of in the spacey area. And this has been a long time want as well for me, and I wanted the BYG original pressing of this from France. And thank you Matt for sending me this from Instagram. It's Ameson, Catalyze. If you guys love stuff like early gong, kind of that Canterbury scene type of style, this is very good. It's kind of spacey at times, very jazz oriented, kind of heavy in spots. Everything I love right now. I've been really digging these different origins of musicians, and just how they work, all the writing techniques, and just how stoned these guys were. It's just very fun to listen to in that aspect, you know. So, Ameson on BYG. These guys were formed out of Paris, France. Again, another one that has been on my Discogs want list pretty much ever since I got the account. Like, how many years ago now? 2014. This is one of the very first I added on there, and this is one of those records that just never pops up for sale, and finally found one for a comfortable price. And this is a promo copy of Horses, self-titled, on White Whale. Kind of rural, folk rock inspired, very slight psych leanings going on. But these guys got some real class when it comes to like writing chops, and just the production sounds, and everything going for it is just very kind of sophisticated kind of sound. I don't know, for a highlight, Cheyenne is probably one. Birdie in a Cage, Nothing at All. Those tracks kind of run together. They're probably my favorite tracks that run together on here. So very solid. If you guys love that kind of early country rock, sort of like, you know, pre-power pop moves here and there, it's actually pretty good. Very good, classy album that you just never hear about, and it's never been reissued either. So it's one to investigate. Then I was happy to pick this one up. This is another one from another land far, far away. Not really. It's Toronto, Canada. This is Doug Randall, Songs for the Industrial State, New Industrial State. As you can tell, the cover's seen better days, but plays beautifully. VG++. Copies just weren't popping up, and then I saw this $20 copy, and as long as it plays, man, I'm happy with it. And this is one of my most listened to records, I would say, this year as well. Very classy sunshine pop. Just imagine like it's sunshine pop made for the businessman. It's kind of soundtracky, you know, the way it all plays out. It's got a very nice flow. Catchy songs, very memorable. This dude was like a 40-year-old film composer. He also did a lot of like radio work. Doug Randall, this is very good. If you guys love stuff like, you know, the Millennium type of pop production, this is very good. Alright, kind of going back to different countries of origin, you know, sort of like in the hard rock realm. Picked up a lot of hard rock and heavy psych this year, and this happens to be one of them. A little free rock. These guys are based out of, I think, London, definitely in the UK. This is a first press on Transatlantic. Again, it's kind of hard to find a cover without the lamination starting to peel off, but it's still in decent shape. Get a shot of the label here. It's rumored that Peter Green of Fleetwood Mac was going to, you know, be on board with this project and become like the lead guitarist for, I think, either this album or another album in production, but the deal never fell through. But I would imagine it would be more blues oriented. But yeah, it's a little free rock. It's got very top production sounds going for it. Very, very bright and bombastic, and yet very melodic, and, you know, kind of in that acoustic field. Like I said, kind of easily compared to like Hard Meat, I would say, the one I just shared in my last video. So check her out. Then a little bit on the darker side. This is one that I've kind of been keeping my eye on off and on, and found a good deal on this, and I figured, you know, it could be kind of nice to have an original press on this label too. The Pills label. This is DS E-Ray with their album First, which will also be their last. This came out in '71. Some krautrock. Like I said, a little more on the dark side. You can tell these guys are kind of influenced by Sabbath and Pink Floyd. So there's a track on here called Trip, which has an amazing music video. If you guys want to check that out online. Very Floyd inspired with that track, but also some heavy riffage going throughout. Kind of some cryptic lyrics, but who pays attention to them, right? No, overall though, very cool record. Kind of in the progressive rock mold, you could say. But yeah, it's definitely one I've been keeping my eye on, and it's a very cool piece, cool artifact from Germany, so snatch that one up. Speaking of Germany, we're still on the German route. We're flying to Amendul 2 with their debut album, Phallus Day, also known as, you look it up. Yeah, stereo copy. For the longest time I thought this was like a gatefold. Doesn't this kind of look like a record that would have a gatefold? But it doesn't. It's a UK press on Liberty. Definitely want to pick out their next two after this, Yeti and the one with the wolf cover. But however, it's a very strong debut, with Amendul 2. I haven't really ventured into their early stuff when they were more free improvisation type stuff, but this is still quite ahead of its time when you listen to it for '69. I mean, whatever they were smoking in that country, it had to have been too heavy for us to handle, But these guys, on the other hand, probably smoking the good stuff. This is Finchley Boys. I think it's self-titled, maybe. No, it's not. Everlasting Tributes. And when I shared this, I thought I was like, in the clear when I said, hey, you guys better check out their Bandcamp, and they're selling off their sealed copies for a rather decent price. And I think you guys were like checking it out, and then I happened to be like one or the very last to pick up any of their last remaining copies on Bandcamp. Still kept the shrink on because it's got the sticker here. These guys were based out of Illinois. I guess you could call this basically hard rock, kind of a heavy psych edge to it. Kind of blues inspired, but man, this thing smokes all the way throughout. Tracks were recorded between like 68 and 69, but I think this came out in 72. So yeah, very very good for its style. Really grimy, kind of gritty, sort of hard rock sounds, during the psychedelic era. So pick up on this if you haven't heard it. It's damn good. And it's a private press. Got a kind of cool custom label design there. Okay, and then this last one, number 10 spot. This is one that probably one of the biggest singer-songwriter LPs I've been looking for, seeking for a long time, and finally, I can't remember how much I paid, but it was definitely way under the going value for a mono copy. This is Chris Lucy, also known as Bobby Jameson, under the pseudonym Songs of Protest and Anti-Protest. It's kind of become an influential album for a lot of folk pop aficionados out there. It's also kind of maybe inspired Arthur Lee of Love to make Forever Changes, or at least it's in that light, the way the songwriting is. And this is basically one of those albums you would find like in the grocery store back in the day, a lot like those Crown records, and it's all original songs by Chris Ducey, but Bobby Jameson took the spot once the deal didn't go through. It's a whole big backstory on this record. If you look at Bobby Jameson's website, very intriguing stuff. Cool backstory. Not necessarily cool, but cool to look at the backstory and just see it. How that music business treats people, and it's just an interesting aspect of why we collect these records. At least for me, it is. So it's on the Surrey label. I haven't played this one too much this year because I know what it is. So I've done more streaming of it than anything, when I'm driving and stuff. But yeah, man, 2021. Can't wait till next year because I probably already found my top purchase of next year. Got a super big grail coming up. I can call this one a grail because you never find copies under $1,000 till this time. But yeah, very stoked about this one. Few of you guys know about what I'm talking about, so you know who you are. And should be coming up shortly. I've ordered this record from a country I've never ordered from before. All should go well, right? We'll see. Anyways, take care, and we'll see you next year.